Hey everybody, this is Red Silvers, and welcome to Let's Play Rocket Knight Adventures, which likes to go into the demo mode way fast. So we're going to go ahead and just start this off. I am going to show you though that in the options menu, they've got 4 options for difficulty, starting with children, then going into easy, normal, and hard. The thing is, they trick you because in the US version, these are named differently than what they are in the Japanese version and I think the European version, because it starts out with this is the normal difficulty in Japan and this is easy. So I don't know why they made the names this way, but the thing about the higher difficulties here is that you can play on children mode, but you can't do like the final boss of the game or something like that. So that's the version I played on a bunch as a kid, but I didn't realize that I wasn't going to get to the real ending because it's still a difficult game. So we're going to play on the easy mode. Gives us enough that where we've got a few continues, we've got a few lives, but hopefully for the purposes of this Let's Play, limited number of lives isn't going to be an issue. But we're going to go ahead and get into this now. There's a lot of talk with no background audio there, but let's go ahead and start. So, this intro is completely different than the version in the Japanese version, so maybe I'll show that off at some point. There's actually a lot of differences between the US and Japanese versions. But we're going to start out today with Stage 1, which is the Kingdom of Zephyrus. And we are playing as Sparkster, the Rocket Knight, who is the titular Rocket Knight. You can see in the background here, the castle of Zephyrus in the background, and there's stuff attacking it. There's an airship, there's a spider thing. And I like that because you see that way back here, but eventually we're gonna see just what's going on there. So, you got your A and C button do the same thing, and then your B button does your jump. A uses like your attack button, but you can also use it to charge up this meter, and then you can rocket off in the direction that you're aiming, bounce off stuff. I don't necessarily know what the best way to use some of these moves are, other than just, use them to wreck stuff, but it's actually a good time to play this game because I actually got this game for Easter of all things. So, I don't know why I got a Sega Genesis game in an Easter basket one year. That's definitely not a thing that's happened since. But I can definitely say that was the best Easter basket that I ever got. Let's see, we're gonna have some walker robots coming in here. So this is a Konami game. This game was only on the Genesis, and then it had 2 sequels. One on the Super Nintendo, one on the Sega Genesis. Oddly enough, the 2 sequels are completely different games. Also, I'm really low on health right now. Can I fly up yet? No. Pretty soon there'll be a section I can fly up. Oh, right here. If you haven't figured out how to use your rockets yet, this is where they're going to kind of force you to do so. Now, we stand next to this tree, we can fly up, and there's a 1-up. Get some apples, because that's how you refill your health. Alright, now we're in a much better shape. We have a mini-boss coming up here. First, we're going to have these guys that come out at you. Ow, he hit me in the face. Now you can do our mini-boss. I missed him. How could I miss? He was 3 feet in front of me. So I recently had the guys from Let's Racing Time try this game out. And despite saying, hey, play this easier difficulty, there's a lot in this game. I guess it just wrecked him a bit. You can also get behind this guy. Sometimes it's easier to deal with him here. But he's not done yet. that's okay. We're just gonna let him ricochet around. You can just use regular shots. You can shoot him. I don't know if different stuff does more damage to him, but kind of bounce him around. No worries. So for the second part of the stage here, we get this that will charge up our rocket so we can just turn into a shooter level. Don't like being one hit away from losing a life here, especially this early in the game. Because each of those lives is very valuable in a game like this. Although in the next section there is actually a way you can sit and farm lives if you really want to do that. Alright, we got another mini boss here. There we go. Like, get the rhythm down here. You can get him while he's coming in instead of having to wait for him to loop around. Alright, one short one and then come up from behind again. Definitely wanted to get down that up and down motion so you can get as many hits in when he's coming in. This always cracked me up right here. Just smash into the wall. Oh good, there's bananas. Not only are they an excellent source of potassium, but they're also a great source of health. Alright, so now we're in that castle that we saw in the background at the beginning of the game. Also, the enemies in this game have a lot of character. All these pigs are very emotive. Alright, so this section, this section can be a little tricky, but just want to get as low as you can and duck. And then just push till you get to a spot like this, and then... Oh. That was a bit close, okay. But yeah, even though I died because I wasn't in the exact right spot, like that section, the fire looks a lot more dangerous than it is. Okay, so don't go there. Come over here and duck. Okay. So try, this time I'm going to go a little further ahead before that comes. There we go, right there. As long as you're as far down as you can be and you duck, you're okay. Ice comes in mid, high, low. And what's odd here is you can actually go back to that fire area after that happens, but you'll just take damage, so it's not worth it. So, these gems give you points. Points lead to 1-ups. We've gotten a lot more score just in this room there than we have like the rest of the game so far. Like, way more than we're getting from like fighting these pigs and stuff. Oh yeah, you can also duck and do like this somersault. That also hits enemies. So right here, if you go straight up, there's a 1-up. And I'm pointing out the 1-up because we're getting all these points from the gems. We have a present. Nope, it's just more silliness. Yeah, grab up all these gems, and I've already gotten a life just from points. I think it was at the 20,000. And then you can just come down here and lose a life. Which does take a minute sometimes, but... Why is this one doing more damage? That's weird, like every other hit's doing like 1 or 1/2. I guess it's fraction based or something, but anyway. We don't go all the way back now, we hit a midpoint, so we'll come here, you know, kill some pigs for chump points. I said for chump points. And, you know, grab all these gems again, grab the 1-up again. I guess it don't matter if the pigs hurt me because I'm just gonna let them die again. Let's see how long it takes to get another life, because I don't remember if it's every 20,000, but I don't think this guy ever does anything. I think he'll just sit here and be all happy. We're not gonna get quite to... Okay, we did not get a life at 40,000. Also, there's this guy in the background here. But we'll do one more round just for the points. I'm not really going to sit here and farm lives, but I'm just kind of showing off that you can do this just as an option. Plus, I mean, this video's already going by pretty quick. We're almost at the end of the stage, and that's where this video is going to call it. A little short. Usually I do longer videos than that, but gotta get in the habit of just doing videos in general again. Aside from my Christmas video, it's been almost a year, which... also around when I started playing Final Fantasy XIV, so, I mean, the two kind of go hand in hand, but... in general, that was also like I moved at the time. There was a lot going on in my life around then. Oh, I didn't even aim that right. Now I'm down in the fire, but... you just kind of have to get a feel for the ricochet that you can do. We still didn't get a life, but I'm not going to sit here and keep farming. Grab the banana so I've got full health, and we're going to come down here to the boss room. Which is the guy we saw in the background. You can get in a few easy hits on him here. Let's see. That side, and then this side. Yeah, lots of hits. Alright, now pick a side and let the spiders come around. You don't have to pick one side, but the spiders are going to go whichever direction you are. So if you go back and forth, you're just making it harder to figure out where you need to go. And then get that red one. Okay. Now tail comes out and goes back in. Tail other side. And if you do that enough times, you can get him without him doing the second spider phase. But pretty much he repeats that pattern. He's not too difficult. Looks like we got life at 60,000, so that answers that question. But before we start stage 2, we get a little bit of a cutscene here. And this is Princess Sherry being kidnapped by Axel Knight, which is the Black Knight. He was also a Rocket Knight. I think he and Sparks are trained together, but he betrayed his master or something. I'll have to look that up. The spaceship takes off, and we get knocked away to start stage 2. But stage 2 is where we'll have to pick it up next time, so we'll pause here, and I will catch you in the next one. But as always, until next time, this has been Red Silvers. Have a good night.